Hello Lord of the Rings fans, I'm Ryan the Cyber Hobbit, and it's time for another environment unboxing. I'm really excited about this one, as it's a piece I've long wanted ever since I started my collection. This is the long-awaited re-release of Minas Tirith from Weta Workshop. Weta originally released this many years ago, and while it is an open edition piece, they ended their production run and it left many people hoping they would make another. Well, about 4 months ago they announced that it was back into production, and it's finally here. I'm pretty excited because this will be my very first environment statue that is actually outside of the Shire. Minas Tirith is probably one of the most iconic cities in The Lord of the Rings, so having this piece that is based on the very same miniature used during filming is something that I think any Lord of the Rings collector would want to have. I'm not quite sure the exact scale of the piece, so if you happen to know, please leave a comment below to let me know. And with it finally out of the box, let's take a closer look. Wow, talk about detail. This is amazing. Minas Tirith has 7 levels and is divided by concentric walls and crowned by both the Tower of Ecthelion and the Court of the Fountain that has the White Tree of Gondor. Unfortunately, this doesn't actually have the Tree of Gondor, but I think I understand, as it'd be incredibly fragile and small. Starting along the outermost wall, the sculpt and painting are simply amazing. The little bricks are all of various sizes, some slightly sticking out, some slightly pushed in. You can see some also have a variety of different colors: browns, reds, some green, even slightly blue. In the middle is the main gate that has a little dirt road leading up to it. The outer wall continues on over to the other side of the mountain and gives the city its initial symmetry. This looks like it would have been a nightmare to sculpt. I'm happy to see the backside actually shows the mountain and not just a flat black like I've seen in some other environments Weta has done. Continuing on the first level, we come to all types of little houses within the city. Yes, there are some that repeat, but they often have just enough of a difference so that you can't really notice it. I wonder how you go about casting something like this in polystone. They all are basically the same color, but with enough nuance that it makes each house feel unique. I think this is one of those things that you can continue to look at over and over and spot something different every time. On the second level wall, you'll find various steeples and houses nestled within. This level is the bustling center of commerce and trade in the city, with narrow streets filled with diverse shops and market stalls. I wonder if anyone gets to live in the tall steeples, or it's just reserved for guards on lookout. This is also the first level that gets divided with the large, bow-shaped chunk of mountain that splits several layers of Minas Tirith, creating a distinct division within the city. I really like how several houses are simply carved into chunks of the mountain that look like they're overflowing into the city.
Mommy, why does everyone else live in a house but we live in a cave?
Sit down and eat your porridge, Elsa, and stop complaining.
The third and fourth levels again have more uniquely carved houses and represent a blend of the city's residential and cultural aspects. It really is amazing how much detail was put into this. It makes me wonder what it might have been like to grow up in a place like this. Does living in a higher level make your family more esteemed? And where the phrase moving up in the world is a literal thing? Also, what happens when it rains here? Do the streets just become a stream of flowing water down to the bottom? I really like the tiny yet huge corridors that connect each side of the city. They're almost as big as some of the houses. The 5th and 6th levels are a crucial transitioning point in the city, connecting the lower residential levels to the upper tiers, including the Citadel. It's again a hub of activity with winding streets and staircases that lead to the higher levels. Bits of green start to show here where vegetation has formed on some of the rocks. The 6th level is also where the Houses of Healing sat, and is where the sick and injured soldiers of Gondor were tended to. And finally, that leads us to the 7th level that has the Court of the Fountain, where the White Tree of Gondor grew, as well as the Tower of Ecthelion. I initially said that this doesn't have the Tree of Gondor, but I'm not sure what else this stump-looking thing in the middle is supposed to be. Perhaps it is. Next to the tower is the Grand Hall of the Kings, where there were many polished marble statues and many cherry tomatoes eaten. Behind that is the silent street, Rothdinnen, a pathway that leads to the entrance of the tombs of the past kings and stewards of Gondor. I really like this area. It's pretty decorative, and I like all the little tiny staircases and random bits of greenery. Really, really well done. Ever since I saw the films, I've always been curious about the exact path you would take to get from the bottom to the top, so here it is. Through the main gate, to the left onto level 2, all the way to the right through the mountain, up the small ramp to level 3, back to the left through the mountain, the ramp up to level 4, to the right, back through the mountain, turn left again to level 5, through the mountain again, then some stairwells I can't see to the very top. On the bottom of the piece, you'll find the name and signature of the principal sculptor, Leonard Ellis. As always, epic job, Leonard. So, what do I think of this piece? Simply incredible. I mean, seriously look at it. Really look at it. The idea of Minas Tirith on its own is amazing, but now it's something I can hold in my hands, and it looks marvelous. If I have to give any critique, I would say that in my head I had imagined it being a bit more white and bright. This is a bit more gray than I wanted, but it is sort of growing on me. I'm extremely happy with this piece, and I think it's well worth the asking price of $600. This is the kind of thing that will only go up in value as time goes on, and perhaps is only one spot behind Rivendell as my most wanted environment that Weta Workshop has to offer. I give this epic of a statue a 9.5 out of 10. I don't know how you do it, Weta. Bravo. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more, consider subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. Until next time, bye-bye.